Hello, welcome to another episode of Bare Necessities, coming to you from our studio in the STEAM Center. Hi, I'm Shayna Baker.
And I'm Brady Stump. First up, we have some important announcements. Hey Bayers, are you ready for the start of the next semester? Hopefully you're ending it on a good note. If you're unsure of your schedule, make sure to check School Tool, and you'll even receive a hard copy of your schedule first period on class Monday.
Performers, all types, are invited to the Boosters Coffee House on Friday, January 26th at 6:30. Sign-ups are on the board outside the music wing. With any questions, ask a music teacher.
And hey, just a quick reminder for you. You're all invited to join Project Linus, which, just in case you forgot, you would be crocheting a 12 by 12 square that would become part of a larger blanket for children at hospitals. If you're unexperienced, that's not an issue. Just stop by Miss Carpenter's room for supplies and even lessons.
The deadline for Honor Society hours are fast approaching. Come out and volunteer with the Bear Den video crew to get those hours. Anyone can help out even if you don't necessarily know the sport.
Hey Bays, to celebrate the ending of the first semester, here's a quick countdown. We only have 15 school days left until winter break, and just 92 school days until graduation. But all of that's subject to change, as we still have 7 snow days left to use.
In case you live under a rock and didn't see it on our social media, our very own Bear, Ryan Mesh, is leading New York State points per game. Congrats, Ryan. Keep up the good work. Go Bears. Come out and pack the den on Tuesday, February 6th, when the Bears varsity boys basketball team takes on their arch enemy, West Hill. Be loud, be proud, and support the Bears. This is the biggest game of the season, so max it out.
As many of you know, this year's report cards are all virtual on School Tool. However, if you wish to pick up a hard copy, you can stop by the guidance office to pick one up next Friday.
Since this is our last broadcast of the first semester, we wanted to shout out to our seniors.
I'd probably say the 4x4 team with my sisters and my best friend.
Probably 3rd grade with Mrs. Wilson.
My favorite memory is having Miss Quinn as a teacher because she just made class feel unique with how she decorated with all the peanuts and Dr. Pepper with Lena. And she also had a lot of memorable things where like the pencil graveyard and the raffle she did.
Probably any of the fall or spring sports games. Those were always pretty fun.
So my favorite memory was probably like the first week of Mr. Kelly's class. Before he had left, it was one of the first classes that actually had like a student dynamic that had attached to it. It was very conversational, and his classes really brought a lot out of everyone, and everyone was able to participate even if they were more shy, they talked. He was probably my favorite teacher that I've ever had, and it was definitely one of my favorite classes that I've ever had. So I honestly regret wearing that shirt. I kept getting comments that it was like creepy, and I didn't realize until watching it back now that it looks like it just stares at you.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that you had that shirt on. How do you feel that this is our last broadcast?
It's weird. I might be back anchoring, or I might be doing segments of helping out next semester, but it's gonna be different without like the same people. Like I really enjoy working with you, Alice and Hannah, Michael, Owen, Michelle when she sometimes comes, Kaip.
Yeah.
It's just overall going to be like a really different vibe, I feel.
It's definitely going to be different, but I'm actually really excited to see what the new crew has to offer.
No, it'll be something.
Yes. Coming up, we have one of my personal favorite segments, the Grogan Joke.
I went to the psychic the other day. I knocked on the door. She said, "Who's there?" So I left.
Thank you again, Miss Grogan. Your jokes are always a hit. And up next, since you all loved the last art showcase, Julian is back with another showcase of our talented artists at Chittenango.
There was a lot of good feedback on last week's episode, which showcased some scholastic submissions. Here's Miss Pace's students with their photography.
Thanks, Julian. Up next, we have Devin with a showcase of esports.
We've mentioned our school esports team on the show before, but if you've ever been interested, now is the time to join. The next competitive season officially starts the last week of February, but practice is ongoing, so if you're interested in joining, be sure to stop by at the library, or you can email Mr. Longhe. Esports meets 3 to 5, Mondays and Wednesdays. Every week, and the available games are League of Legends or Super Smash Bros.
Here is our last Hannah and Allison segment.
Who's your favorite teacher?
Can I say a few?
Sure.
Like top 3?
Yeah.
I'd say Mr. Live, Mr. Kabasa, and Mr. Thomas.
Favorite teachers?
Miss Thomas and Mr. Stearns.
Sure.
Miss McKenna. Miss Cosby. Mr. Muller.
Sure.
Mr. Thomas.
Mr. Thomas. Okay, thank
Not in any specific order, but Karp, Grogan, and Johnson.
Grogan Cashman.
Miss Karp.
Probably not Mr. Thomas. I'd have to say Mr. Kobaso.
Miss Peyton. Mr. Saunders.
Mr. Cashman.
So who's your favorite teacher?
That's a hard one.
Just pretend Cope's not here.
Okay. I'm really close with Mrs. Kiska and Mrs. Pace, but Mrs. Karp's up there too.
And like I said this earlier, one of my favorite teachers was Mr. Kelly, but I really enjoy like any teacher that really has like a student-teacher dynamic where they actually like talk, and it becomes a lot more mutual rather than just like they talk at you for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So I loved having Mr. Kelly. I loved having Karp, even though she used to yell at us at physics to turn in our labs, which in fairness, we did turn it in 3 weeks late. Mr. May when he was student teaching.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, there's a lot of good teachers here.
There
especially,
really is.
like you said, with the good like teacher bond, not so like, obviously it's professional, but not like,
Yeah.
you know. Hungera to all of our French students for getting inducted into the French Honor Society. Here are some pictures from Tuesday night. In case you don't know what Hungera means, hit up Google Translate and guess the language.
I'm gonna take a guess. Is it French?
No.
What is it?
Swahili.
Bless you. Is that even a language?
I don't know. I think it's an African language.
Is it?
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Bare Necessities. Make sure to stay tuned for new episodes next semester. Good luck to the new Bare Necessities staff. We can't wait to see what you have in store. I'm Shayna Baker.
And I'm Brady Stump. Now for the motivational quote. Desire is the key to motivation, but it's determination and commitment to an unrelenting pursuit of your goal. A commitment to excellence that will enable you to attain the success you seek.